do you think there's some kind of like superiority, elitism to getting up
Absolutely.
before everyone else? Like
Absolutely.
You're doing more?
Yeah. And it's not because it's not like I'm thinking about other people when I wake up at that time. It's not like I'm thinking, oh, Pat's asleep, I'm better than him. No, it's I'm better than the version of myself that sleeps until 10. Welcome back to the Limestone Podcast. I'm joined today by host Patrick.
Oh, we're starting it, right. I thought you were going to play the song again.
Oh, no, I can play the song a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Monster. Monster. Cheers. How's it going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm drinking a drink. How dare you ask me a question when I'm
Yeah.
drinking a drink?
Well,
I'm good.
Is this the intro?
Yeah, this is the intro. It sounds really good. I'm really happy with it, actually.
Okay, cool.
It's very professional.
Let's roll with it. So today I think we're going to talk about routine. Morning routine, the benefits of having a routine, because out of everyone I know, apart from Mason is the one that I know has the most
Mason
routine.
is the king of routine.
Yeah. I think though you have
A pretty good routine.
pretty good routine.
This is like, I just want to preface this by this week is not a reflection of my routine. Well, I do, but it is very favorable to the warmer months of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm very much in tune with the seasons. When it is warm, when it is not freezing cold, my routine is super easy to stick to. When it is winter, it just sucks. Like it's just hard. So like the last couple of days have been cold. Getting out of bed has been the hardest thing for me, and I'm trying to bring it back. So like for the most part, my routine was either it depends, either getting up at 4, 5 or 6, and I just adjust the day accordingly. So recently I've been trying to do the 5 o'clock because 4 is just crazy for this time of year, and it's not been the best. However, when it's there, it's there. So recently, in the past month or so, I've been vlogging on TikTok. Shout out Matt Lambourne on TikTok. And what that requires me to do is like I need to portray my life in its most accurate form and still have it entertaining. So things that will grab people's attention early, if I stay like, this is what 5 a.m. looks like, or this is what my routine starting at 5 a.m. looks like that kind of thing, even though like it's like not 100% accurate on, I do this every single day. This is what I'm trying to become. So if you look at it through that lens, it's not like he's doing it for the camera or whatever it is. I'm using videos to hold myself accountable to build that routine further, which is kind of funny. I heard this quote probably like at the start of the year from a content creator in the States is, vlogging your day makes you a better person because you are putting on a show. And like, if you look at it in the sense that you're putting on a show, it is very true. But if the things that you are doing in the video, if you want to be that person anyway, and that's a way for you to do those things because you're filming it and you're keeping yourself accountable to the video you're creating, I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's fake. I think that's, if you're very self-aware to it, like I am, it's pretty cool. So yeah, my routine, it can change in terms of what I'm prioritizing at the time. But for example, now it's wake up, try and train first thing, train, come home, breakfast, then edit the vlog, edit the video, and then work on coaching for the morning, and then other 2 businesses get juggled during the day, and then at the end of the day do some coaching as well. Then the evening is usually just like a wind down. But for me, routine isn't like I wake up and meditate 10 minutes, I do this, I do that, I cold plunge. It's a sequence of events that allow me to set myself up for the most productive version of myself. And the reason I mentioned the most productive version of myself is because I firmly believe that's when I feel the best and I'm the best version of myself. So
And why is that? Why do you feel like that 5 a.m. is, as opposed to, because you could do the exact same stuff at 9 a.m. Why do you think 5 a.m. for you is the key to it all?
There's no other cunts around.
Yeah. Do you think there's a sense of like, even though it's kind of arbitrary because it is just a time, do you think there's some kind of like superiority, elitism to getting up
Absolutely.
before everyone else? Like
Absolutely.
You're doing more?
Yeah. And it's not because like it's not like I'm thinking about other people when I wake up at that time.
Mm.
It's not like I'm thinking, oh, Pat's asleep, I'm better than him. No, it's I'm better than the version of myself that sleeps until 10.
Mm.
So for me, getting up at 5 a.m., it isn't a bit of an elitism thing. I feel like I'm on top of my shit.
Mm.
And I do run very heavy based on feel. Like I'm a heart on my sleeve kind of person. And logic and emotion kind of crossways, but it's primarily emotion. Like I run the day pretty based off feel. So like I just said, if I'm winning early in my eyes, it's good. However, if I don't wake up at 5, if I don't wake up at 6 or whatever I plan to get up and it is pushed back in the day, that's one thing I'm working on is trying to be as productive in the later half of the day, which it just never has really been the case.
Because I think I think you can go off routine, and as long as you come back to it at the end of the day or at a later point, there are some times where waking up at 5 a.m. is not convenient for you.
Especially if you've gone to sleep at 3.
Exactly. If you've got stuff to do, you're not going to run off 2 hours of sleep. You're going to give yourself that leeway to sleep in. It's like when someone reads books. You're going to go through a period. This is a bit of a...
Where are you taking this, Pat?
It's like you can still call yourself an avid reader even if you take 3 months off not reading books.
Oh, for sure.
Because I have a bookcase full of books that I've read, but I haven't read a book in probably a year. But there will be a period of time where I'm like, oh, that book interests me. I'm going to sit down and read that whole thing in a week.
Yeah, I'm the same with books. Now, I would classify myself as a reader. I would classify myself as an avid reader. Last year, I did something like 52 ebooks, right? Audiobooks. That's not impressive. I just listened to them, right? It's the fact that, like, if I want to be known as a reader, then I will put out that I'm a reader. I don't really put it out. Like,
what's the book? If you want to be better at something, adapt that as to you. Like, that's what you are, not that I am trying to be a fit person. I am a fit person. Atomic Habits.
Is it Atomic Habits?
It's something like that. I'll find it. And
I
I'll put it on the
watched. Speaking of Atomic Habits, James Clear.
screen.
James Clear, that's his name. He was a keynote speaker at the Zapier conference I went to a couple of weeks ago, and he's fantastic first and foremost. But one thing I really liked, and it plays into the routine as well, and seeing like the benefits of a routine. He tells a story about ice cubes. So ice cubes melt at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. And you don't see any change between like 25 to 32. Like it feels the same, the temperature, but every click up, you don't see any change until 32. And that's like how your daily habits will then impact something greater. So for example, right, I've been filming my vlog for, I think I'm up to 25 now. For the first 20, they were just trash. Like I just thought they were crap. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, I just sat down to edit. I edited one. I watched it and I couldn't stop smiling. I was like, oh, this is a story. This is actually decent in my eyes. I'm really happy with this. So that's that, like the on-flow effect from repeatedly doing something all of a sudden makes sense. And it's probably plays into that manifestation, probably plays into the, I do all these things in order to get a good result. That's essentially what you're doing a routine for. Like for me, at least, is that I'm spending the time doing something repeatedly in hopes that I'll have my 32 Fahrenheit moment where it suddenly becomes simple. And like, that's the gym for some people.
It is. It is. Where do you think that, because I'm sure you, for a long time, you didn't get up at 5 a.m. Where was that turning point and
Hell nah.
what do you think made that switch into becoming like a morning person?
Well, this is kind of an interesting one because on school holidays when I was a teenager, right? My dad would say, don't become complacent. Like, don't sleep the day away. Get up, do something. Usually because he wanted housework done. So I would do it for him. But he would say, don't become complacent. So I always had this in my head, like, I don't want to become complacent. But it was really not until I got Jinx did I become a morning person. Like, because she would start barking at 5 a.m. Because for the first part of her life, she slept outside. Because I was going between two parents' houses. So she slept outside and I would have to get up at 5 a.m. to walk her because she just wouldn't stop barking until she got a walk, which is fair, valid. Like she's bored. And in and around that time, so a little bit before and after as well, I was working a 6 a.m. job. So I started at 6 a.m. Worked at Aldi, and then before that I worked at Coles, where I started at 5 a.m. So I just like was forced to get up to make money. And from there, I realized that those times were really quiet. And they were just like, there was no one around. I could just do my work or do whatever and get through it. So I carried that. When I left Aldi, I like started working at Apple and stuff like that. And I would still try and maintain that 6 a.m. Start time. Pardon me. The Monster is very counterproductive. Carbonated water does me dirty. But I would try and carry that 6 a.m. through my careers up until now. And again, when I moved into the corporate world, I would get up at 6 a.m. because I'd have to get the train and all that kind of shit. And it doesn't really pay dividends until it does. So like just being able to fit in the gym in a corporate week where I would have to go before work, or else I'd be getting home at 7 p.m. or whatever. It just, that allowed me to just have that every day. But when I left and like started working for myself, coaching people at Good Life, fuck you, Good Life, I needed to get up early. Like I've always been prioritizing doing stuff in the morning before midday, because I don't know if anyone else feels this, but I was so ingrained from school that when 3 o'clock hits, or like around that 3 to 5, I just shut off.
Yeah.
I just don't do anything past that time. I'm not an evening person for productivity. I can be, but I say I'm a morning person, so I've become a morning person. Yeah, that's that James Clear thing.
I'm similar in that, where there'll be a certain point of the day where I'm just like, if I'm really inspired to do something, whether it's creative, something like that, I'll stay up till stupid o'clock in the morning working on it. But if it's something where I'm not super passionate about it, after 3, I just switch off.
Yeah, for sure. And like one caveat to that is video games.
Yeah.
In the evening, I would always play video games.
Talking about something about you're passionate about, I'll play World of Warcraft until the sun rises. And
exactly.
Then I'll be like, but what have I just done?
Yeah. I've wasted an evening of sleep. The eternal slumber will catch me shortly. Just wiped off 6 hours of my life. I definitely felt like video games for me was something that I could just do in the evening because I didn't have to think. It was a mind-numbing tool. Like it just wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
But apart from that, now it's like I want to wind down in the evenings, and if I nail my routine in the morning, then it gives me permission to wind down in the evenings because I've earned it.
Yep.
And you shouldn't have to earn relaxation and anything like that. But I wouldn't suggest that to anyone. But for me, like I know I am at my best when I have that kind of game with myself where I've completed enough tasks in order to hit a save point.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point. That's a good way of thinking about it.
Hit there and rest. Sleep for a bit, wake up, and like I did the whole like grind off 5 hours sleep and all that kind of stuff. If you do that, you don't have unless like I want to meet the person whose day is that busy. I know a couple actually, but if you can only afford 5 hours of sleep, I don't think you have an issue with hustle and grind. You have a time management problem.
Yeah,
because like you said. If you're doing something at 5 a.m. or if you're doing something at 9 a.m., it's not really any different. If you are managing your time, but you want to get up at 9 a.m. because it's more efficient for you, then do that. But if that means like if you get 3 hours extra sleep because you slept from 5 till 9, and then from 9 till 9 you're just like at the grindstone getting everything done, and then going to sleep at 9:30 and to wake up again at 9 because you're well rested, like that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But if you can look at me dead in the eye and say, I need to only get 5 hours sleep consistently because I have so many things to do in the day, I'm going to probably call you bullshit, because if I put a camera on you and watch you throughout your entire day, one, be very creepy, watch you when you do wheeze, but also two, like I guarantee you're wasting time. Like I guarantee you. I'm guilty of that.
Somewhere.
Like I think to myself, I need to get up at 5 or else I'm not going to be productive. When the previous day I've sat on the couch watching TikTok for 3 hours.
Yeah. I don't think the 5 a.m. doesn't make it magic. It's like you're not going to wake up at 5 a.m. and be instantly productive. I found it last night actually. This is like kind of why I wanted to talk about this today is like there's this guy. His channel name is The Wheezy Waiter. Like real interesting guy, but he does all these like I was vegan for 30 days.
Oh yeah.
And I got up at 5 a.m. for like every day for 30 days, and I did all these morning routines. I did like keto for 30 days, whatever it was.
Is he an Australian guy?
No, nah, he's from Wisconsin or something like that.
He's American.
Yeah. So he'd get.
He's from Wisconsin. He actually went to Wisconsin High. He likes burritos for breakfast.
Had to be real specific about where he's from. But he did the 5 a.m. thing, and I noticed for a while when I was getting up at 6 to walk Abe, I was more productive.
Hell yeah.
So
why do you think that is?
I think it's for a similar reason of where I got up, I needed to get this done, and this done, and then I could go in and do whatever I wanted. It's like the something that Parkinson's law that I also found out about yesterday is like work expands to fill the time allotted.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you've got 6 hours to do something, it'll take you 6 hours to
Use
do.
cleaning the house, for example. Right?
I don't clean the house, but yeah.
You fucking rot. Pat has the most like prestigious mouth care routine. He has a tongue scraper and everything, but yet he doesn't clean his house.
No.
If you give yourself 15 minutes to clean your house, you will get a significant amount of shit done, right? Because it's a challenge. If you give yourself 1.5 hours to clean your house, you'll probably get the same amount of shit done.
Yeah.
And like, this is something I had with my partner, Emily. She would like, I would say to her, I was like, let's just do 30 minutes of cleaning because it would seem like this massive daunting task. And she was like, oh, it's not enough time to get it done. I can't be bothered. And I was like, no, we can get shit done. Trust me. And like when I have a challenge like that, I'll vacuum. I'll do everything so quickly. And that is, to me, is like, that's the shit. Like,
I think if you can get the same amount of stuff done in that time, that doesn't necessarily mean that your the quality of work has to drop. 6 hours of time is probably you've done 3 hours of work in that time, and then sat around twiddling your thumbs and tapping away on TikTok for 3 hours.
If you want to see that, look into the corporate world.
People
probably do. Maybe I think there's actually been like insight to this. If you work a 40-hour week, you're probably only doing 7 hours worth of work.
Yeah, well, it's like you're stuck in that office from 9 till 5.
Yeah,
they're your allotted hours. And if you've only got, like, I suppose in a corporate world, it's different to here. In a corporate world, you're not, I'm sure some businesses are, but there's no, like, you're not supposed to be innovative.
It depends.
Like, it depends on the industry, but most of the time you come in and you're just like,
you have a role.
You're an accountant. You're going to count numbers today.
Yeah, I can count to 10.
Yeah, well, you're not expected to come up with a new way of counting numbers. That's not your job. Your job is to push paper and count numbers. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just an example. But here,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But I think the good thing about what we do is we have the option of, like, let's say we can come in here from 9 to 5, but we film a podcast and then it's like, do this, this, and this. That they're your tasks for the day.
Yeah.
But then if you want to spend extra time in here to do creative stuff and do whatever you want, come up with new things, go wild. You don't have to though.
Yeah.
But you've got the option to do that. So I think there are days where I will spend 9 to 5 in here, where there will be days where I get 3 hours of work done. But then there are days where I'll spend 4 hours in here and get 4 hours of work done that will end up being more than those 2 hours I did across the 7 hours.
I'll give you an example, right? So not this Monday gone, the one before, I came in here at 5. I came in, I trained, and from 6 till 8:30, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. I wrote all my socials posts, wrote a LinkedIn post, wrote a bunch of other stuff. I replied to clients, updated some programs, all that kind of shit. In 3 hours, I did more than I'd done in like the previous 3 days of the week before. And it was just because I was like, this is my goal. I want to achieve it. And I know after achieving it, I'll feel really good.
Yeah.
So like that was my reward mechanism. And that was like, there's no distractions because I'm so easily distracted. There's no distractions. This is exactly what I need to get done. And I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. Like 5 a.m., there's in any office you go into, there will be no one there.
No one. You
can do the exact same stuff at 9 a.m., but when, like, let's say you roll through the door or Reese rolls through the door, there's something there to distract us.
Oh, for sure. So, like, that's the difference, right? when I said there's no cunts around, I was being serious. Like being able to wake up, set up for the day with no interruptions, start filming my vlog as well. Like I'll film things.
Yep.
One, Emily doesn't have to be on camera if she doesn't want to be. Two, I can start getting stuff done before my phone starts going off. For some reason in the morning, I don't really want to look at my phone. I try and avoid it. But it feels dumb to like wake up and sit on TikTok. So I'm like, okay, no, I gotta get something done. So like I will start checking boxes early. And then like even if between 5 and 9, they're the only hours that I'm productive for the day, but I do 10 different things. I'm like, I don't feel as bad later on in the day because put it this way, if I'd woken up at 9, done half the amount between 9 and 12 that I would do between 5 and 9, and then in the afternoon got distracted anyway, I would be pissed because I'm like, I know I could have done 5 extra things for the day. But knowing me, I know after lunch, I'm not the best. I'm not as productive. So like it's playing to my strengths. And I know I let myself down if I sleep in because I'm going to get fucking distracted anyway. So it's kind of hard. And as I said, I'm trying to work on this. Like this is something that I said to Emily. I was like, I'm not good at this. How can I get better at it? And she was very good. She was like, well, you need to look at what you quantify success as. Is failure the not waking up at 5 or not getting the things done? So like if you have 10 tasks to do between 5 and 9, is it a failure if you sleep in, or is it a failure if you don't complete those 10 tasks? So attach the reward-based mindset to the tasks, not the time frame. So like if I woke up at 6 or 7 or 8, still get those things done. And then by midday, I can look at the day and be like, cool, I brought that back. Yeah. Which is very hard for me to do.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree with that. I think someone that does it well that I've listened to podcasts of before is Andy Frisella. He has, at midday, I have 4 tasks to get done before midday, or 5 tasks, whatever it is.
Who's Andy Frisella?
MF CEO. What's the company? Fuck. He's like a supplement company in the US, huge. I can't even think of the name. I'll show you a photo after. You'll notice
Andy Frisella. You know what? I'm going to bring it up right now.
Just look. Yeah, bring him up. I've forgotten the name of the company.
Andy Frisella. Yeah, what does he do well?
So he has this. He does similar to what Reese does with game theory.
Yeah,
where he assigns points, but also he has midday will be his cutoff point for work, and as long as if he's got 5 tasks to do first thing in the morning, he'll get as long as he gets those tasks done by midday.
Yeah,
then he's got the rest of the day.
Oh, this is the Real of AF podcast guy.
Yeah. What's the
75
company?
Hard?
That's him.
Yeah.
What's the company?
MF CEO.
No.
Regular dude.
It's a supplement company.
Builder of companies. I'm looking at his link tree now.
Oh, okay.
He's got an OnlyFans. Just kidding. OF is the best.
But he has until midday. He gets this stuff done, and then as long as it's done by midday, he can go do whatever he wants in the afternoon.
Right.
And he runs probably $1 billion company.
$1 billion.
Like this. Well, he's huge.
All you need to know about him is he created the 75 Hard.
Yeah.
Which is fucking phenomenal. Like to create that, that's crazy.
I think also that whole watching that 30-day getting up at 5 a.m. makes me want to try it and document it as well.
Yeah. Well, even just like this is crazy, right? Because there are like you're an adult, right? You can go and buy a cake and eat it for dinner. You can get home, shut your door, and take a shit in your hand and wipe it on the back of your door. No one's stopping you.
Yeah.
I say that way too much, by the way. You have the freedom and we have the platform to try anything. Yet we sit and live our lives so fucking boring and complacent.
Yeah.
Why not try things and put yourself out there into the world just in case you might actually enjoy it?
Yeah.
Like that's why I vlog, right? That's why I make it, because I watch everyone in America. I watch these fucking crazy storytellers and I'm like, well, I'm never going to get there unless I try something.
Yeah.
I could very easily just sit, wake up, eat, coach, run business, jiu-jitsu, go sleep. But also or I could try and tell a story with my day and share it with other people who aren't as fortunate or who are ahead of me and want like a reset, and just like watch my videos as a kind of disconnect, like I did with video games. Like I want people to enjoy my life as well. Like it's enjoyable. I reckon if you were to sit down and do a 30-day challenge and you've documented the whole process, put it on TikTok, whatever it might be, I think it would be really fun. Don't start a business in 30 days because there's about 16 people in Melbourne doing that right now. And I'm just like, fucking hell, cunts.
Not interested.
Not interested. And it's like, it's obviously the same. This is so hypocritical of me because I'm doing the exact same thing anyway. But that's the thing. I'm interested in one thing. Other people are interested in that. So whatever. But what would you try?
I think it's the 5 a.m. thing.
Yeah.
I want to see how much more I can get done in that time. And because I like doing TikTok stuff, but I also like the long form content.
YouTube? YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.
The thing I've noticed over the last few weeks is the Limestone channel is growing pretty quickly.
Is it? People are actually watching us?
Yeah, we're almost overtaken Lambs to Lions.
And for that, I'm going to spit you some rap.
Please don't.
Give me a beat.
No. We're not rapping. Not rapping. Okay, cool. Let's talk about.
Let me set you if you want to do the 5 a.m.
Okay.
Let me give you a couple of pointers of advice.
Cool. This can go out to everyone. If you want to get up at 5 a.m., what's your advice, Matt?
First things first. I'm the real no. Just wanted a platform to rap. So if you want to wake up at 5 a.m., there's a couple of things that I would do in order to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. You really need to physically exert yourself the day before.
Okay.
You need to either train really hard, do something strenuous, if that's go for a really long walk, if that is go for a run. I did that the other day. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I actually kept the pace. It was interesting. Pick up a martial art. Whatever it is, you have to do something physically intensive so that you can fall asleep at 9 o'clock.
So I struggle to do that. That's what I tried. I was trying to do this yesterday. Well, this was today was the day I was supposed to start, but I just couldn't get to sleep.
Yep. So you need to really physically exert yourself. So this is why people anyway. Physically exert yourself like crazy. Before you go to sleep, have a little routine. So for me, it's I have a shower, brush my teeth, floss, light a candle. Candle's only lit for a couple of minutes. Blow it out. Get into bed. Say, Alexa, good night. And she plays my sleep playlist, which is Frank Ocean, if you're wondering. It's important. But I will drink water. I'll drink magnesium, but I drink 2 glasses of water before I go to sleep with the intention that it will wake me up around 5 a.m. Now, 11, and people are different, how quickly they digest water, whatever. It will usually wake me up at that 4:45, 5 a.m. to get up and pee.
Do you have an alarm?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
100%. If I don't have the alarm, I'll end up pissing myself. Around that time, my alarm goes off at 5. If I've timed it correctly, I'll have to get up to go pee. And then I'm already up, right? So my alarm's going off. I need to pee. I go to the toilet. I'm like, oh, well, I have to now get back into bed if I'm going to sleep in. So that's a choice to make.
Where do you keep your phone? Is your phone your alarm?
Yeah.
Where do you keep it?
I have Alexa and I have my phone. I keep my phone next to my bed.
Okay.
If I'm right now, I'm keeping it on the floor as far away from me as possible.
Yeah, that's the hack I heard, that you have to get up to turn your alarm off.
Yeah. That doesn't always work, especially if you're in a period of heavy sleep, which I am. I seem to be sleeping heavy recently. I'm almost at the point where I have another tool where I get an actual alarm clock and I put it in the bathroom and it goes
It's an obnoxious
and I have
noise.
to get up and I have to turn it off because I can't sleep through that.
Yeah, okay.
So they're the things that I do. And then from there, I start the day. The evening is crucial for the wake up, but you have to sleep early. You have to do it. There were times where I was going to sleep at 7:45. That's insanity.
Yeah.
But I was getting up at 3:45. So
So you needed it. I think the 10 p.m. in bed by 10, asleep by 10:30. I think I need to go back to reading.
Also, no phone before bed.
Yeah, that's something that I need to work on too.
Reading's good. Reading's good because it will not just you're escaping a little bit, but also you're just clearing out the thoughts of the day.
Yeah, I can't do self-help books before bed.
Have you read The Terminal List?
No.
It is written by a guy who is ex-military, and he writes a fictional story about a character who he creates, and it's war, all that kind of shit. It's pretty fucking gruesome. It's really good though.
Okay.
for fiction out there. It's pretty good.
Terminal List.
Super easy to read as well.
Yeah, that's what I need because like all the self-help books and the business books, I like them.
Don't read them before bed.
No, because then I want to get up and start slapping away at the keyboard.
Slapping away at the keyboard.
3 a.m. But
make some fucking work piano on the keyboard.
That's it. That's it. Biographies or autobiographies or something. Like this is a weird book that I read, but Gucci Mane's autobiography.
Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Did you hear about Migos?
No.
You know Migos?
Yeah, yeah.
One of them got killed last night. Yeah, he got shot.
Which one?
The youngest one. Not Offset.
Quavo?
Not Quavo.
Takeoff, the best one of the
Takeoff, yeah.
That's
The best rapper of the three.
That's unfortunate.
He was playing dice at a bowling alley at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something and got shot.
Jesus.
Yep. There you go.
There you
Rest
go.
in peace.
Well, there you
Fuck, they made some amazing songs.
go. Yeah, that's a bit.
My bitch is bad and bougie. I can start rapping there.
Yeah, I think I have a lack of routine. I embrace chaos a bit too much.
I think if you are someone who embraces chaos, I would look at the reason why you think everything needs to be chaotic in your life. It's okay to focus.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my pizzazz if I focus.
Yeah, but when I focus, I get more stuff done, and I
Exactly.
I like not having routine, but at the same time, I think it's a detriment.
This is kind of funny, right? So this is going to be a very interesting parallel. People who do drugs, right? If you do cocaine, if you do MDMA, if you do ketamine, anything that'll make you more social and brings you up, drink, all that kind of stuff. People think they can't have fun without it, right? You can. You can have fun without it. Once you step away from that and you experience life without the influence on you, you're going to realize you're still the same like person. You're still funny. You still enjoy yourself and people still like you, even if you're not high. If you embrace chaos and people get tied to the chaos because it's exciting, you bounce between multiple things. Oh, I'm always busy. I'm always busy. If you order your shit, you're not going to you're not going to lack the experience, right? If you change the way that you intake dopamine, so like instead of going from TikTok to Instagram to podcast editing to training to all this kind of stuff, bouncing between stuff, if you file that into a neat fucking day, you're still going to feel good. If not, you'll feel better and you'll reward yourself throughout the day and not just like bounce between shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think the chaos though makes me feel good. I think it makes me anxious more than anything.
Yeah, but anxiety and excitement are two sides of the same coin, right? They're the same feeling.
Yeah.
You feel anxious when you're about to go on a roller coaster. You feel anxious when you have shit to do, right? So anxiety and excitement are pretty much the same feeling because I get fucking chest pains when I'm ready to go on a roller coaster. I also get fucking chest pains when I've got a million things to do.
Yeah.
So like looking at it from that, the excitement that you get, and people like you can get addicted to anxiety. You know, people who have like who need their back up against the wall in order for things to work. Like in order to get shit done, you need to feel like you've got your student syndrome where everything's due tomorrow, and you like then you can go because there's the external pressure, right? That's the kind of same thing with like the anxiety of I need to feel anxious in order for the outcome to be close enough or serious enough that I need to start putting pressure on myself. Doesn't need to be like that.
No, because I don't like that feeling at all. I think it stifles creativity too.
I think it does too, because you're thinking more about speed than you're thinking about.
It just needs to get done.
Needs to get done more so than the creative element. Like I'll give you a really good example, right? I said when I came in here today, I've got 2 vlogs in the backlog. That I need to film. I need to record, edit. And I'm like, I just need to get them done. And I'm feeling anxious because I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fall behind on this because that's when I start to lose the handle on things and I will end up quitting if I can't get a handle on it. So I'm like, okay, I need to fucking prioritize my time, order my day so that I can fit them in. And then after that, I get back on track. I forgot where I was going with this.
Or how do you, when you go off track, how do you get back on track?
Stress. Nah, I reach out to people. Like I said to Emily last night, I'm like, I feel so stressed out. Like everything is overwhelmed. And she literally grabbed me by the shoulders and was like, is it though? And I was like, what? She like state braked me. She was like, is it? I was like, I looked at I literally pulled out my calendar and I was like, it's one of those moments where I feel like I've got the world on top of me, but it's really not that bad. She was like,
because how many things do you have in your calendar?
Let's have a look.
Because I know with mine, it's walk Abe, meal 1, meal 2, meal 3.
Is walk Abe the same time every day?
Yeah, it's an old one. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, which is going to change. But
fair.
And then the only other thing is every Wednesday 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. is podcast. That's the only thing that's scheduled into my calendar.
That was because I did that to you, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's nothing else.
So today I had gym from 5 till 6, didn't happen. Blog edit between 6:45 till 7:45 didn't happen. Coffee with a friend of mine from 7:45 till 8:45, that happened. Now the podcast and then into TikTok content creation time, but we're going through the podcast. So, and then I've got jiu-jitsu from 12 till 1, vlog edit time, which is reactive. I move that into there between like 2 and 4. And then I've got anime straps go general time between like 4 till 6. So like my day looks different every day.
Yeah, okay.
Showing the screen.
The camera.
Can you see? If I put it on Pat's camera, can you see?
No. Because it's autofocus to me.
That's fine.
You guys get the point.
But my calendar has consistent things like gym, vlog edit. It has room to move though.
Yep.
Until maybe like 3 weeks ago, I was never the person to use the calendar. Like the routine I would just build from muscle memory. I need the calendar now because I have so many things going on.
Okay.
I run 2 businesses and I coach. Like that alone for me is more mental bandwidth than I've ever had to use because I've definitely been busier, but it was all based on like one task. So remembering things, we're all in alignment with the one task. Now I need to remember to do shit.
Do you think you've got like the calendar there is more just like a visual cue for you to look at as opposed to it's just like getting all your thoughts on paper?
It's a de-anxiety. Like it takes everything out of my head. Recently it's been every Sunday. I will plot out my week. And I'm like, oh, cool. I feel a lot better about it now.
Because you can fit all that stuff into that time. It's not just you've got a list of 10 things to do and you'll do it whenever during the day.
Absolutely.
And are you the kind of person that if you've because I know I am, if it's not written down in like a checklist format or some kind of list or some kind of schedule, then I've got 10 things to do. None of it gets done.
Yeah, pretty much. Or one thing will get done, or 1 or 2 things will get done that I remember, and then I'll find myself in a hole and be like, "What the fuck was I meant to do today?" I was like, "Oh fuck, I had a lot of things to do."
Yeah.
There was a period of time earlier this year, where I was too focused on the to-do list, and my to-do list was like a page long, like I want to say 30 to 40 things, right? And it included things from get coffee, clean toilet, outreach, edit content, all that kind of stuff. And it ended up just being filled with useless shit because I quantified success with checking off that list. Like tick, 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 tick.
Yep.
When in reality, that wasn't the case at all. So like, yes, I do need to have things in a checklist format. And I use Todoist, like the management software tool, where I have it on my phone. I can see what needs to get done, but I don't look at it as a day by day. I look at it as like a holistic project based thing. So like I have each of my clients for my automation business, and I have like coaching, and I have ASC stuff as well. So I have a giant project management tool for my life essentially, and then the routine stuff like go to jiu-jitsu, edit the vlog, all that kind of shit, doesn't really make it on there. It just makes it into the calendar.
Because that's stuff that's going to happen anyway.
That stuff is going to happen anyway if I've got my shit together.
Yep.
And the way that works is it works for me. It may not work for everyone. That some people might need everything in there or nothing in there. But for me, it's easier just to like block out 2 or 3 hours for ASC. So straps, that could be content creation, that could be replying to emails, customer service, whatever it might be.
Yep.
And then like block out the time in the macro and then have the to-do list for the macro.
Yeah, okay.
And that allows me to schedule my time, but also it gives me the freedom of like, okay, I have time to allocate to ASC today. Whatever I can get done in that time, fantastic. If I don't get 10 checked off items on the to-do list, that's okay. That's fine. You still got more done than you would have if you didn't allocate time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's very like business orientated. But how would you structure that same thing for someone that doesn't run a business, where like they have a regular 9 to 5 job, where their checklists won't be about trying to grow companies?
I think I would approach it in the same manner.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at elements of my life that I can bundle together.
Mm-hmm.
So housework, meal prep, like walking the dogs, stuff like that.
Yep.
I would allocate like lifetime. So
Mhm.
call it like life admin or whatever you want to call it. I would have like life admin time, say from if I worked 9 to 5, which I used to, and I would get home around 6, between 6 and 8, I would have life admin time where that could be doing any of an array of tasks.
Mhm.
And then after that, I'd have like my downtime. So I would like wind down and get into a routine of like whatever that looks like. So if it's the same thing where I brush my teeth, have a shower, floss, all that kind of shit and go to sleep, then that's that. And then in the morning, I would have like between 5 and 9, I would have whatever I'm trying to get better at. So if that's training, if that's video editing, if it's fucking disc frisbee golf, you know that frisbee golf. Sometimes I end up on that part of TikTok.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy. And girls. Fuck, they can throw a frisbee. I'm not allowed to have a frisbee. Emily's scared of flying things. I'm not kidding.
Like birds, or
Yeah, she fucking hates birds. Fuck, man. Hates birds. Couldn't fucking Theo, our dog, murdered a bird the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Brought it inside. Thanks for that, buddy.
Gotta love it, clean that up. I just kind of made this connection there, but like the way school is structured,
Yeah.
kind of had it all planned out perfectly, right?
They were, if there was one thing that they did well, it was structuring a day.
Yeah, 9 till what, 11:30, and then it's recess for half hour. You get a
Yeah.
half hour break.
Yeah.
Then it's like till whatever, 12 till 2:30, whatever it is.
You fucked up the schedule already.
I don't know. What time did your school start?
We started at 8:25.
Oh, okay. Maybe mine was like 8:30.
Yeah.
8:30 till 10:45.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You get
Yeah,
the point.
yeah,
though.
yeah.
There's-
You had 15. You had like a 15 to 20 minute break, or a 20 to 30 minute break, and then you had an hour long break.
Yeah, and then you had a short burst of work in the afternoon, and then from 3 o'clock onwards, 3:30 onwards, whenever school finished, was like free time.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's kind of how I segment my day. Like
Yeah.
I have morning block, I have middle block, and I have evening block. And I think what school did well was you had the time allocated to a subject.
Mhm.
So like for me, it's each business.
Yep.
I have a time allocated to a subject, and what you do inside of that is managed inside of that. So like
Yeah.
the to-doist that I have only gets worked on in that time.
Yeah.
And if you were at school, if you were doing a different subject's work in like the wrong time frame, like if you were doing maths when you're meant to be doing English, your teacher would be like, can't you focus on one thing at a time? And although that probably sounded annoying in the time, it's actually very beneficial.
You get more done if you're focused on one particular thing.
Fuck, Miss Hildebrand used to get me with that one, my English teacher in year 12. What are you doing, Matt? I'm catching up on work from a different class. Well, what about this work class you're going to fall behind in? That's valid.
Yeah, Miss Hildebrand had it all going on.
Yeah, she was.
She understood it.
She understood. I just feel like learning to manage time on your own is very difficult.
Mhm.
Learning to manage time in relation to how you work the best is even harder. Most people don't do that. They just conform to what everyone else is kind of doing. So for like people in the 9 to 5, some people will be gym goers and they'll gravitate to other gym goers. So they'll be like, oh, we get up at 5 to go train. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to get up at 5 to go train. And then we're going to go to work 9 to 5. And then I'm going to come home and cook dinner and go sleep. Watch The Office or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, but people like PTs, right? You walk in as a PT to a gym, and there's a PT that's like, yeah, I start my sessions from 6. You're like, oh, sounds like I got to start sessions from 6 too. So they just adapt the passed on lifestyle from the people around them. The product of your environment argument is very true. Like you will pick up the lifestyle and habits of the tribe that you're around.
Mhm.
The thing that I did differently is that I smashed those tribes, and I was just like, I'm just gonna fucking do me.
Yeah. There's a guy that worked at the Good Life that I worked at that he would work from like he would never do anything before 9:30. I don't think it was.
Really?
He would stroll in at 9:30, but he would work till like 8:30 at night.
Yeah. See, I didn't do anything past 11. in the morning.
So you were from like 5 to 11 a.m. with
Yep,
your
I
session
would train
times.
people from 5 to 11, and then after that, I would go mentor kids.
Mhm.
And because of that second half, like I would mentor kids in the afternoon,
Mhm.
so from like 12 till 3 or 4.
Yep.
I would say to my clients that I'm mentoring this evening,
Mhm.
so no one would ever ask to book in the evening because I was mentoring.
Yep.
Which is not true. Like I would finish at 4,
Mhm.
and I just wanted the evenings to myself.
Mhm.
Like I built the business coaching people from 5 to 11,
Yeah.
and you'd be surprised at how much you can get done within that time.
So that's it. Mornings are the answer.
Mornings, well, for me at least, like
Some people work better in the evenings.
I do know people who work better in the evenings. Reese is a good example.
Yeah, you'll work from like 4 till 1 in the morning.
Yeah, he'll work 4 to 1 in the morning,
Mm.
and that just works better from him. Like there've been times where I've walked in at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's in, and he looks tired. I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I was up till 1." And then he just like rattles off the things that he's done since I last saw him. I was like, "How the fuck did you do that?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just productive in the evening."
Mm.
I was
I'm
like,
not.
I'm neither.
No.
But like understanding that is super powerful.
I think you can become productive in the evening. It's just like,
Oh,
like you said.
just like anything, you can train yourself to. Like, no one just wakes up and is like, "I'm a morning person."
yeah.
Like, no, you're forced to do it for some reason, and then you just happen to become it.
Mhm.
So, like, for some people, it's morning. Some people, it's evening, and like, whatever the fuck you want to do, just do it.
Yeah.
But just do something. Just get some kind of routine or get some kind of consistency into your life, because if you're living in that chaos state, you just can't get anything done. Like, just
No.
not anything tangible over a decent amount of time.
You just get it done whenever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. Cool. I think that's it for this episode, guys. If you have any questions or
If you have any questions, DM us. Like,
Yeah.
send us some Lionstone DMs, because we'll happily answer them on the pod.
Mhm.
But if you found this valuable, give it a like, give it a share, take a screenshot and put it on your Instagram.
5-star rating on Spotify.
5-star rating on Spotify. Take a screenshot, send it to your mum. But on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this, thank you.
Mhm.
And if you don't do any of that, I'm glad you listened to the end as well, because we appreciate it.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll see you
Which
next
one's
week.
the exit button? I forgot. Is it this one?
Yeah, just press that one. Doesn't matter. I'll overlay the sound.
That's very loud.
Jesus Christ. See yous.
Bye-bye. Say hello to your mum for me.